Hey everybody, this is Randy. It's going to be a battle report between myself and a buddy of mine here in Phoenix, Jesse. We're playing 750 points. I'm playing my Dark Angels, and Jesse's got a crap load of Orks that he's brought to the table. So the scenario we rolled was the Emperor's Will, so we both got our objectives set up in our respective corners. We're doing hammer and anvil deployment, and I've seized the initiative from him after he went to the trouble of deploying first and given me the chance to react. I've gone ahead and seized the initiative. My warlord trait that I rolled is going to be for the lion, which basically gives the warlord and his unit the furious charge rule. Jesse's rolled intimidating presence for his orc warboss. Alright, so this is our setup, and we'll be back at the end of turn 1. Alright, we've finished turn 1. Basically not much has happened. I moved that combat team forward, as well as this combat team. I moved them forward. The combat team with the plasma cannon stayed where they are. However, they were not in range to shoot this turn. Jesse's moved all of his orcs forward in the movement phase, and then in the assault phase ran them additionally. So I've got this huge horde of greenskins looking down at me. We'll be back. Okay, we're back at the end of turn 2. Turn 2 was a bit more eventful. The first thing was my Terminators came in the back of Jesse's lines with the Terminator assault, the Deathwing assault. In the Dark Angel shooting phase, I was able to cause 1 wound into this large group of Nobs with a frag missile. And also one wound with a bolt gun from this group of Marines here. The Deathwing shot into the back of Jesse's group of Nobs and caused 2 wounds to the Warboss. The Orks, the group of boys that were over here on this side of the table charged my Terminators. The other 2 groups, the Nobs and the big group of boys, just advanced forward. Then the Nobs charged into my group of Marines with the Warlord. My Warlord issued a challenge and to the Warboss, and just due to the 2 wounds that were caused earlier by the Terminators, Balthasar was able to kill the Warboss in the challenge. And the rest of that combat resolved in the favor of the Orks. They were able to cause 2 wounds to my 1. And that's it for turn 2, and we'll see what happens coming up next. Okay, so here we are at the end of turn 3. First thing was my 10-man tactical squad advanced towards the group of Nobs that were engaged with my Warlord and another unit. That was all the movement I did. My plasma cannon fired into this group of boys and managed to kill 5. So we actually had a pretty good result there. Back here with my Terminators and the smaller group of boys, that wasn't as effective. My Termies only managed to kill 1 of the boys. In the combat over here, the Nobs were able to completely wipe out the rest of that combat team and put two wounds on Balthasar. So he was by himself and down to just one wound. Then in the orc half of the turn, his boys attempted to charge into my tactical squad that I had moved. They suffered a wound on Overwatch, which was their lead guy, that increased their charge distance, and then they failed their charge because of that shot. Back here, the boys killed another Terminator in exchange for just one loss, so they're still locked in combat back there. The boys are slowly whittling down my Deathwing. But on the good side, all these Nobs here failed to kill Balthasar with just one wound. So they remain locked in combat as well to continue on to turn number 4. Alright, turn 4 saw quite a bit of carnage on the field. I changed my mind what I was doing. I moved my tactical squad away from the fight that was going on over here towards this unit of boys instead. I shot at them with pistols, but the shooting did nothing. My plasma cannon was able to fire into them and kill 2 of them. Then that 10-man squad charged into the unit of boys. I lost 1 Marine to Overwatch fire from the Orks. During the combat, I killed 5 of the boys, and they killed 2 of my Marines. Continuing on with my turn, the Terminators back here were able to just wound the Nob.
Better boys.
Or yeah, the leader of the boys group, and they killed the Terminator sergeant. Balthasar, who was fighting so steadfastly, he killed 2 of the Nobs, but unfortunately succumbed to the overwhelming might of the Greenskins. He wasn't able to stand up to the numbers. Now for the Orks turn, after the Nobs killed off Balthasar, they ran towards my unengaged unit of Space Marines that were on top of the hill. They charged that unit. I did manage to score two hits with Overwatch, but unfortunately didn't cause any wounds. The Nobs wiped out that combat squad without even suffering a single wound. It was pretty sad. In this combat, only 1 Orc boy was killed, and no Marines were lost. Back here with the Terminators and this group of boys, the Terminators were able to kill 2. The Orcs were then forced to take a morale check, which they failed, and fled off the edge of the board. So now we are starting turn 5. Neither side has any scoring units anywhere near any objectives, and so we're going to see how this plays out. We've got this combat to resolve, and the group of Nobs have some movement, and my 2 remaining Terminators also have a little bit of movement. Just want to throw in a little shot of this scrum. This has been going on for a couple of turns now, but it's a pretty cool looking little fight. They've been trading blows back and forth for the last couple of turns. Okay, turn 5 has ended. Turn 5 went pretty quickly because there wasn't a whole lot left on the board. I ran my Terminators back towards the action hoping for a 6th turn to get them involved. In this combat here, they traded 1 for 1. One boy was killed, one Marine was killed. In the Ork turn, Jesse did the same thing. He ran his Nobs towards the fight as far as he could, and in his part of the combat here, he lost 2 more boys, but they stood their ground. This scenario uses variable game length, so we rolled a die. We rolled a 2, which means the game is over, and I think we have a draw. We both scored Slay the Warlord. Jesse got first blood. We each destroyed one of the other units. We each destroyed 1 unit. Actually, that's going to be 3 victory points for Jesse and 2 for me, because Slay the Warlord, first blood, and the destruction of 1 unit. I got 2, Slay the Warlord, and destroyed 1 unit. So it looks like an Ork victory. The objective wasn't captured on either side. My opinion was it was a well fought, fun game. I would like to have won, but we did great. What are your thoughts on it, Jess, if you don't mind being on the channel?
Yeah, it was a great game. Terminators had a little bit of poor rolling, but other than that, I was anticipating them steamrolling through my boys pretty quickly. And then your HQ held up my Nobs for quite a while, which was pretty good rolls on that.
Yeah, I was kind of surprised. Those Terminators were locked in combat from turn 2 until turn 4. I guess they did their job, though. I mean, they held up.
Yeah.
They didn't die. They survived. It was, 5 against 16, I think it was.
Yeah.
But at the same time, they weren't overly effective in the game as far as doing a whole lot of damage or what have you.
Each team did what they were designed to do, more or less, so it was a good game.
Yep, I think I agree. I think it was a great game. So that's the end of the bat rep. Thanks to Jesse for coming over and bringing his Orks, and we have an Ork victory. Take care, and we'll see you all later.